Hello guys and welcome to our today's video. So the today's topic is to write the 8085 program to find the square root of a number. Okay, so we'll be inputting a hexadecimal number and we need to find the square root of that number. So let's say how we will do this. As we need to find the square root of a number, let's say the number is 19. Okay, this is a hexadecimal. Okay, that is 19, that is 90 to the base 16. Actually this number is 25 in decimal number. Okay, so we need to find the square root of 25, but as we use hexadecimal numbers only in 8085, so the input will be 19 hex, and 19 hex is equals to 25 in decimal, and we all know that the square root of 25 is 5, right? So we'll be getting this. So let's see the method of finding the square root of 19 in hexadecimal. So for finding the square root, we need two registers more. Let the first register be the D register and the second one is the E register, and another one will be having the content of accumulator. The D register will be initialized with 1 and the E register will also be initialized by 1. Okay, and the accumulator will be containing the input, that is 19 hex. Alright, first of all we need to subtract the content of D from the accumulator. Okay, so 19 minus 1 is equals to 18 we will get, right? Now we will increment the content of D by 2. See, this D register will be containing the odd numbers. Okay, and we know that the odd numbers are at a distance of 2 units. So this D register will be containing all the odd numbers. The E register will be the output. That means this 5 hex will be finally getting stored in the register E, and the whole process will be repeated until the content of accumulator becomes 0. So here we are finding the square root just by subtraction. So as I have said, after subtracting from accumulator, increment the content of D by 2. So it will be 3 now, right? And also increment the content of E by 1. So it will be 2 now. Now again subtract this content of D from the content of accumulator. That means 18 minus 3. And here we will get 15, right? Now after performing subtraction, again increment the content of D by 2, so it will be 5 now, right? And increment the content of E by 1, so it will be 3. And again the next step is to perform subtraction between 15 and here 5. So 15 minus 5, and this will be what? See, this number is in hexadecimal, right? So 15 in hexadecimal is equals to what? This is 0, this is 1, and this is 16 plus 5, right? That is 21, right? This is in decimal. So this 15 minus 5 will get 10. Alright, now again increment the content of D by 2, so it will be 7, and increment the content of E by 1, so it will be 4. Okay, now subtraction will be performed between 10 and 7, so we will get 3, right? Now the content of D will be incremented by 2, that is 7 plus 2 is equals to 9, and the content of E will be incremented from 4 to 5. One thing here, 15 minus 5 is 10. How? This is in hexadecimal, right? So this 15 in hexadecimal is equals to what in decimal? See, 15 can be written like 1 into 16 plus 5, that is 21 in decimal, and we need to subtract 5 from it. So 21 minus 5 is equals to 16, right? But this is in decimal. If we convert this into hexadecimal, then 16 will be is equals to 10 in hexadecimal, right? You can simply prove it, like 16 when divided by 16, it will give the quotient 1 and the remainder is 0, so the number is 10 hex. Okay, so that's why we are getting 10 hex here, but actually this 10 is equals to 16 in decimal. I hope you are getting my point. I am simply saying that the number 16 in the decimal base value is equals to 10 in 16th base value, right? So this is 10 in hexadecimal. So this 10 when subtracted by 7 will not give 3 as the result, but it will give 9 as the result, because this 10 is in hexadecimal, right? And hexadecimal 10 is equals to 16. So 16 minus 7 we are performing in actual, and this will give the result as 9. Alright. So we got the result as 9, and then we have incremented the content of D by 2, so it will be 9, and we have incremented the content of E from 4 to 5. Okay. Now the next step is to perform the subtraction between this 9 and the content of D, that is this 9. So it will be giving the result as 0. So once the content of accumulator becomes 0, this process will be stopped and the content of E will be the result. As you can see, we have got 5 as the content of E register. So the square root of 25 in decimal or the square root of 19 in hexadecimal is 5. Now this is the whole process. Now let's write its assembly language program in 8085 microprocessor. We all know that the first step is to input the data, right? So let's load the data into the accumulator from C050 hex location. Okay, and then we have initialized two registers, the register D and E with 01 hex, right? So MVI D comma 01 hex and MVI E comma 01 hex. This will simply initialize two registers with 01 hex, right? Now we had started subtracting the content of D from the accumulator. So we'll perform sub D, right? This will perform what? Accumulator content will be performed subtraction with the content of D. Now this content of accumulator is being checked whether it becomes 0 or not. So for that we will use GZ loop. This is just to check whether the content of accumulators becomes 0 or not. If it becomes 0, then it will stop the process, and if it does not become 0, then we will again repeat the process. So for now the content of accumulator is not equals to 0. So what we used to do, we used to increment the content of D 2 times. So we will perform INR D 2 times. Okay, and we also used to increment the content of E, right? E is the register in which our result is going to be stored. So these steps are going to be repeated, right? Now we need to take the control from here to here back. Okay, so for that we will use a JMP instruction, that is the unconditional jump. This is JMP loop. Let's say this is loop 1, and this loop will go to this location. Okay, that means after incrementing the content of E, we again need to subtract the content of D from the accumulator, right? So we are heading the control flow from this location to this location. So this process will be repeated again and again until the content of the accumulator becomes 0. Okay, once the content of accumulator becomes 0, then this loop control will go to this location. And now what we'll be doing, we will be just storing the result, and we know that the result is in the register E. So for storing the result of register E, first we need to move it into the accumulator, right? And then we need to store the result in, let's say, C051 hex location, and then halt. Okay, so what we are doing, first of all we are inputting the number, we are initializing the content of D and E register with 1, right? Then we had started subtraction of that accumulator content with this data, that is the content of D. After subtraction, we are checking whether the content of accumulator becomes 0 or not. If it becomes 0, then we are storing the result, else we are incrementing the content of D 2 times and we are incrementing the content of E by 1 time. Then this unconditional jump instruction is going to take the control of the program back to this location so that we can again perform subtraction and we can repeat the whole process. So the process will be repeated until the content of A becomes 0. Once it becomes 0, then we are going to store our result into C051 location and then halt. Okay, so this is how we find the square root of a number. If you are having any doubt in understanding this, you can easily ask me in the comment section. And see you in the next video. Thank you.